Okay, just welcome everybody to day 4 of, I guess we could call it week 2 here. Oh, 2 or 3, depending on how you're counting it. Okay, um, what we have to do for the next 2 days is, well, we can try to catch up on the SQL Zoo stuff, and we're going to try to complete our REST server with our SQL database, uh, our kind of backend with our SQL database, which is, by SQL we mean Supabase, but behind Supabase is SQL. If you notice, there's fewer assignments. I don't like having so many assignments, so I consolidated them into just basically 2 assignments for this week. Plus, down here, there's the interview. The interview is about the assignment here. So just wanted to let you all know that um, that's been rearranged a little bit. Um, it's still based on the guided lesson that I showed you, the 2 guided lessons, the one about SQL Zoo and the one about um, Supabase in Node. And I know a lot of you are making really good progress on the Supabase in Node. Um, so why don't we start with any blockers that you may have with your Node app that we're building here. Before I start, let's kind of go over what we need. We need a Express app, similar to the Express app that we built the week 1. Um, we need to set up Supabase in the Express app, different from how we did it in level 3. Remember, we had level 3, we had a front end. Right, but anyway, now we need Supabase on the back end. And we need, let's see. Um, let's get here. Jump ahead. We need to have a Git, and our Git is going to be backed up with a select. We need to have a post, and the post is going to be backed up with an insert. And this is a SQL term. We don't need IDs anymore because it does it for us. Get, that's another get. We need delete, which is backed up by delete, same word. And here is a little bit different. We're going to have what's called a put, and that's going to be backed up by what's called an update. So this is level 10 is a little bit is kind of new. It's a kind of a combo between it's a it's like a post, but you post to a particular ID to update the values. And it does have kind of some answers in here, so you can look at those if you really need them. Finally, there's the error handling here. And the challenge, we talked about this um, connecting the back end to the front end yesterday. So I showed how to connect the back end to our original app, but you could actually connect the or sorry, I talked about connecting a front end, a React front end to our app from last week, but you can actually try and connect to the app from this week, whether it's recipes or snacks or games or something. So that's 12. And that's in there because we want to talk about understanding, you know, what, what are the roles of the two projects we're doing. Like I said, there are two roles we're doing. We're doing a front end role. We're doing a front end project, which is like React. Basically, you could say it's React. And we're doing a back end project, which is Express or Node, right? They both talk to the database just in different ways. And there's the picture in here. If you click, yeah, there it is. There's a picture in here. It has there's our React app, but it can also be a Postman to test it out. Way over here is our Supabase. Way over here is a Supabase. And then in the middle is our brand new Express app with a get, post, delete, and of course update. So that's what we're doing for this week. There's a lot of moving pieces here. But hopefully it'll make sense because it's a little bit repetitive from last week. It's just kind of putting more pieces together. Okay, so with that said, I want to ask, let's see if anybody has a blocker you can share. Let me see. Can anybody share blocker that you had? Or if you don't have a blocker right now, maybe just something that you learned or want to learn more about. I guess you could type it into the chat if you want to, or just raise your hand. Give me something that you ran into. The blocker will be the PC. Yeah, if you don't have a PC, yeah, it did its it did its role. I think you said it was working for years. I don't remember how many years you said. So glad to have you back, Dylan. All right, so Ty's having you've got cut in this is kind of our stand-up meeting. That would be like, what's your plan? Your plan for today is to do the post for Superbased, right? So you got to redo it a little bit. Um, you've already done an insert in level 3. You've already done a post um, from 2 weeks ago, and now it's kind of putting those two together. And I recommend doing a lot of console logs and just making sure that you check each step. Oh, are you sick? Yeah, those are blockers too. Right. There it is. And I think that should cover it. Anyone else want to quick share a blocker that you've had? And Clay, I do hope you feel better as well, Alfonso and Clay. Okay. If you wanna yeah, if anybody else wants to share a blocker or or say something that you learned. I'll restart. There's a blocker right here. Uh, maybe let's do this. How about scale of 1 to 10? How are you feeling about using SQL? Because next week there's going to be a big curveball on SQL. So I want you to kind of get comfortable with SQL. So scale 1 to 10. How about SQL? Yeah, there's the nice thing about SQL is you can do a lot with just a little bit, can't you? But the thing about SQL is it goes very, very deep. And there are people that basically spend their entire lives or their entire careers on SQL, um, optimizing things and making sure that queries don't run slowly. And one of the biggest things is what we're going to talk about next week is joining tables together. Um, so you're going to have like you're going to have like games that belong to a user, or messages that belong to a user, or game reviews that belong to a user, or snacks, I don't know, or meals that belong to a user, right? So that's what we're going to do for next week. We don't have to worry about that this week, but good to hear you're happy with SQL. Okay, okay, let's do one more scale of 1 to 10. Um, the concept, if I say REST server or REST resource, I'm not sure if I introduced that well enough, but how about that term? Does that make sense? When I may want to kind of explain that thoroughly before I let you get started on it. I think you said a 7 on the idea of a REST server. I sent a really good term. I sent a really good one to Clay. Sent him. Where is it? I'm gonna look at my messages. I sent a. I think I sent it directly, or maybe I sent it on
What does it have to do with?
about the concept of REST. It might have been on your assignment.
I'll send it. I'll put it in the chat.
It was about the idea of like the REST server and the roots and all that. I'm gonna share that one. I was gonna draw it, but then I realized that that's probably a better picture, better diagram. Um, did I send it in? Maybe I attached it to the comments on your GitHub or something. Hmm. So in any case, I'll get started on my Excalibur here, and then we'll see what it looks like. We'll have a better finished drawing here. So we have this idea. This is how it's commonly drawn. So you have like, come on, I wanna write. It's not letting me write in the box. REST, or it's capitalized. REST server. Let's say four. Let's just say four. Movies or something. We'll just go for movies. Okay. And for movie, and we're gonna call this the movie resource. Okay. The word resource. And just for clarity, I'm going to put a little database over here. So this is our database. Database movie table. Okay. So behind the REST server, there's sort of this database movie table behind the scenes. So it's got all your movies over in Supabase. Okay. So have that in mind. But here, that's our abstraction, the database. Here, we're going to have what's called a this is going to be our get, and this will be our get index, which will be I guess it'll just be like this, movies, movie slash, and then we're gonna have get, let's call it get single, right? And it's gonna be movies with an ID, and give me a thumbs up if you're okay with this colon ID, kind of um, formatting there. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kai. Okay, let me, okay, great. So let me see if this has something nice. Go away, bot. Everything has a bot now. Yeah, there, like that. And sometimes they have these external things. That's more of a Ruby thing. But there we go. Right. So it's like movies or like say profiles. So doing profiles here. Profiles 1, profiles 2, profiles 999, right? So you have let's do a post. So the post one, okay, post one is post, and it will be, this is create, movies, no ID, right? Because it doesn't have an ID yet. And then going to be delete, and then this will have an ID, so that will obviously just delete. And the last one is either put or it's sometimes update as well. And this will be, I think it's update. Now notice that this has an ID too, right? So you have all of these guys in here. And I might move these around a little bit. We put post over here. Uh, well, post and put maybe over there, and put delete over here. And then we went in the front of this, we often put like something, sometimes we write this like middleware. Remember middleware? And so we might have like JSON. Remember the JSON middleware that makes sure that the JSON loads? Thumbs up if you have a JSON middleware. It looks like the middleware looks like app.use and then express.json. Do you remember that? It looks like that. So, and you can put other middleware like this one. Hmm, this one might be like validate. You can have validation middleware or something, more middleware, and like this would be like validate the body, because these both have a body. Thumbs up if you know that these both have a body. Does that make sense? The rec.body, right? Those two have the body. So this middleware would go on these guys. You don't have to put in the middleware yet, but like this is what it basically looks like. And maybe, for example, you might later on you might these two. Oh, let me put delete over here. This will be better. Put delete over here. So, and these two are going to have like um, authenticate, because the maybe only if you're authenticated you can create, update, and delete. But maybe these two you can see them. Maybe these two are public, and these two needs authentication, right? So This is kind of what it looks like. I'm just drawing these in. So we don't have to look at those yet, right? I'm going to move the middleware out. So just simply, it looks like this. So this is a REST server. And this is just there to organize our, kind of make our database abstracted out and make it so that our communication between our front end and our back end, front end, like maybe a React app. Could be a React app, or it could be like a just a J. Remember in level two, we just had a regular JavaScript app, and this guy, he will just oops, if he wants to, this will be create, and this will be update, and delete. DR. It's spelled out of order. And up quiz, what's this one? Starts with R. Nope. The one for get. The whole thing is called rest. Yes, read. Yeah. What's that spell? CRUD. So this is the basic CRUD app. Okay, literally that's what they call it. Okay. Um, what else? Yeah, so this is abstracted away, and this is the database over here. And you could swap out the database. It doesn't you can write the database later. So you can do things independently. It's called decoupling. And the communication between these is via HTTP request response at a high level. These are all HTTP request responses. And that's what makes it more or less like easy, or at least easy to understand. So that's the, can I have a color here? Okay. These are all the HTTP requests. Okay. Um, and technically, with Supabase, this is also an HTTP request, but it can be a different kind of request called a TCP request, which is a little lower level, just depending. But with Supabase, it is actually an HTTP request. So the the um the web runs on just request responses. And let me go to PowerPoint one more time and take back our old example, and then I'll let you all get started on your project here. How the web works, right? Remember all these? We learned HTML pretty fast, and we had like images, and we learned a little bit. We learned some CSS, and we're learning JavaScript. And here, this is all about this thing. So this data thing is a whole nother topic, and we're just really scratching the surface. But how does the data go from the back end to the front end? It does it through the like the data might be way over here or something. What is happening there? So what happens? You request the HTML. Okay, it says server, I want the HTML. It does. Okay. Then the HTML requests like probably some CSS. It requests all the React stuff, and then the React runs for a little while, and then it figures out what it needs. It needs some images, and then use effect. Remember use effect? Use effect kicks in, and it says, "Well, I need to hydrate my data. I need my data. I'm going to send a request, fetch, and I'm going to say, oh, okay, we need data. I'm going to go to Supabase. Okay, here's some data, and now I'm going to give you the data, and that's going to run. That's all we need to, and it all goes through it all goes through the network with those HTTP with those requests. You can, whoops, and this one may even have it. If I reload, you'll be able to see. There's probably some. No, okay, it didn't. They'll have uh some data coming in here. I wonder what it looks like. Oh, yeah. It doesn't store anything on the server. This one doesn't. Oh, um, I don't know. Do I have mine running? Let me check. Oh, I do have it running. Oh, yes, I do have that one running. Okay, so I can show you. If you missed yesterday, this is still running, hopefully. Yeah, this one's still running, right? Oh, yeah, it's still running. So I have my React app. This is my React app. And on that use effect, what it does is it says, oh, I need some data. I don't know what Pokemon, I don't know the weight and height of name of my Pokemon. And it goes fetch. There's two, I guess it does do it twice. And it gets a Zubat of height 1 and just gets all the data. And these are its attacks. Let me just check that one more time. This is what we were doing before. That's what's happening here. That's when it's hydrating the data. It does a use effect, and then it does a fetch, and then it grabs the data, and that's what makes it dynamic, and that allows the web server to customize. It knows once you get logging in, it will be able to know exactly your data, and it will be able to pass your data to you, so that um, you'll be able to see um, all your information. Okay, so let me stop here, and that's a general overview. Um, See if you have any other questions that you want to ask. Otherwise, I'd like to just let you do some work on um, your REST server, or if you haven't finished your SQL Zoo. So let's see, any other questions that you might just popped into your mind? Maybe how about on a scale of 10? Does REST make sense now? This idea of a REST server here. I didn't show you I I didn't show you this one. So if you wanna, I can walk through this. This is the no, I'll send it one more time. This is the link that Clay passed to us. Um, Believe it or not, this was a doctoral thesis, okay, in 2000, this term. And there's some other ideas behind it, but basically if you see a uh, a very nicely organized bunch of uh, web pages like this, we're not really talking about edit necessarily. Somebody got your email? Oh, is this it? Is this your email? Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so um, so you might have params here, but what I wanted to talk about is like this. Uh, like you might have this on the front end or something, but these are let's see. Yeah, this CRUD part here. Yeah, here, this is actually better. So create is a post. It goes to here. This is actually what I wanted. Can I link directly this? Yeah, let me link directly this. So this is actually the better one. So to create a new thing, you want to create it and you use post and it goes right here and it's like, don't tell anybody the password. And if you want to get it back, I guess it gets the password back, right? Very smart. But if you want to get it back, that would be, oh, no, 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 I'm sorry. Here's get back. This one is read. So you get the profile back. I guess you just get the email back or something. Put, you will, oh, there we go. Oh, I see. Yeah. You see the difference? So this is I love noodles and this is I really love noodles. They needed to update their password, I guess. And so that would be a put. So if you go to Postman, we haven't used put, but there's a get, there's a put there. Yeah. And that's the put. It can also be oh, it was patch. Yeah. Oftentimes they use patch. Oh, sure. I'll just get through this. And then of course there's the delete that you've seen before, and it also needs an ID. Did I miss anything? Like get all the profiles, I guess. So it's like these are the CRUD. Great acronym. And yeah, so I think this is a really good chart, part of the REST concept. And it's just like a set of conventions that everybody follows here. And this is the template, you know. Oh yeah, here. So like you change the resource, like resource, and be sure to use an S. It's just a convention to use an S. Mm, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Clay.
With the update, what's the preferred um, way to pass in the ID of what you want to change? Do you pass it in as a like ID inside of the body, or do you pass it as a parameter in the URL?
Yeah, you'd want to do it as a parameter in the URL.
Okay.
I guess I could think of situations where you might want to hide it, I suppose, but I don't think, no, I'm pretty sure like um you want to have it in the parameter of the URL. So put is going to have the ID here. Um, I think the modern way is actually patch. Um, but it used to be not all servers, um, not everybody implemented patch yet, but we can use put and patch are basically kind of interchangeable these days. There's a there's a put and a patch. I think technically the more correct one is patch, but put is used for compatibility. So um, options is used for checking cores. Okay. All right, so if there's no other questions, what I'd like to do, I'd like to have you work on stuff. And I hope that if you haven't talked to me about your kata yet, let's have a meeting for like maybe 15 minutes today. And could you walk through your kata? There's a few people who haven't shown me their kata yet. And if you do get done with the REST server by tomorrow, you may you can do your interview early. I won't have sign up times just because there's there's not, I don't think there's going to be, we can just do it whenever we have time. But the interview for this, for your REST server, will be either Friday or next week. All right, so I'm going to pause the recording. Thanks for listening. And we may come back and discuss any blockers you have at the end. So I'll just pause it.